significantly. But it was a gradual thing, but yet there were divine encounters. I think my first real encounter with the love of God, where it began to move just from a theology and a doctrine into, wow, was through the ministry of Catherine Kuhlman. Have anybody heard of her? She was amazing. And I just used to listen to that on the radio and other times, even went to several meetings. But she had a way about her that was loving. But prior to that, there was like a pressure put on us, like, come on, you gotta believe, you gotta, rev it up. But she was relaxed, and she'd say, that's just His mercy, it's just His love. And so that was a revelation to me. And I started to, I guess, subconsciously even want that. And then I went on a trip, like a pilgrimage, I suppose, to Israel. And I went in part because she was one of the speakers, but there were others that were like Pat Robertson, Jamie Buckingham, David Duplessis. And those guys with their message, especially David Duplessis, just really nailed me with a judgmental, legalistic, religious kind of attitude.
But wait, they had it or you did?
I had it.
Okay.
I don't know if you can relate, but when you think that you have sort of all the answers and your doctrine is more correct than their doctrine, you just get into that whole thing. And of course, we all want the truth. But I missed a very important part about the truth. That's this. The truth is God is love. So that's the focal point. That's the center point. Right? Everything has to sort of flow out of that. God so loved the world that He gave. And so there's something even more fundamental than the cross in Christianity. And that something is the love of God. Because it was because of the love of God that Jesus was willing to go to the cross. It's amazing, isn't it? So during that trip, I got undone. I was uncharacteristically crying out of control. Couldn't stop. I didn't know what was the matter with me. And I'd try to sleep all that week, and I'd lie down in the bed, and then waves of heaven would just come crashing down on me. And I can remember saying, God, one more wave comes on me, I don't think I'm going to live through it. Then yeah. And so that really caused me, I really got it. I caught something. I experienced something. But I didn't have the context for it. I didn't really have a theology for it. I believe you need both. So when a man named Jack Winter came to our little church, several years after that encounter, he began to show me how basic and fundamental all this is in the Bible. And that's the great commandment after all, isn't it? You know that? Matthew 22:37. Jesus is asked, hey, what's the most important thing in all the Bible? How would you answer that question? They're like, well, I don't know. I would say, because you must be born again or something. Or you have to believe it. But his answer was, love the Lord. With all your heart, all your soul. Put your hand in your heart. All your soul. Put your hand in your soul. All your strength and mind. See, so this is calling for emotional connection. Because to love with all your heart and soul is what He's asking for. And I used to read that and reinterpret it to mean that means show Him you love Him by working for Him. And be diligent. Be faithful. Be all these things. But see, no. Working for God is different than loving Him with your heart. And it's an emotion. And so Jack helped us kind of get that together, and it transformed us. Long answer. There we go.
No, it's great. So how do you reconcile the love of God with our call to sell out to God, or to, dedicate ourselves to God, surrender to God, those two biblical themes together because you've said love is more fundamental than even the cross.
Love is the reason for it.
Yeah, right.
The cross, of course, is.
Gotcha. But just help us, those apparently dichotomous, or those two different kinds of themes in the scriptures.
Yeah, the whole thing about falling in love led me to believe that the kingdom of God is actually a love kingdom. See, it's not a bullying kingdom where you get in line or else. And I used to think that a bit, you know. Right. But no, he takes this long way around to win our hearts. I mean, when you think about the gospel, it's really pretty convoluted, isn't it? I mean, you have the Garden of Eden, and then